Hey everyone, welcome to Brickvault. My name is Jack, and today we are building our LEGO Cities train tracks. This is the largest track that my brother and I have ever attempted to build in LEGO, and it's going to go through some modifications in the future, but the goal by the end of today is to be able to get our train to go all the way around without it falling off the tracks. Now you might think putting some tracks down on some plates is relatively simple, which it is, but we're adding an extra step, which is custom building a ballast to go underneath the tracks. A ballast in real life is usually referred to as a gravel or heavy stone foundation for a road or for some train tracks. We just thought the tracks looked a lot better when they were built up like this, so that's going to be the majority of the building today. In the future, we are going to build a couple of ramps so they match up well with the roads on the city streets. Right now, they kind of cut the road off a bit. And towards that center opening, I think we've got future plans for making a tunnel. Anyways, I'd like to talk to you guys about the construction of the ballast, because that is the real custom building of today. But first, we have to build the tracks. And by we, I mean my brother. So I think it's safe to say we got the train moving, the tracks are all connected, and everything seems to be working pretty well. Now it's time to check out the actual build of the ballast, and I can't do that first without saying whose design this ballast is actually based on. The original design inspiration we gleaned from Cale Leiphart, and these are some images of his digital rendering for the ballast track. When you jump back to our ballast track here, the core of the design remains the same, though we might not have quite as many little details added on just yet. But here you can actually remove the track pieces, and on them are a lot of 1x1 and 1x4 black tiles. That is of course to make the cross ties of the track kind of pop out a bit more. And when you look here, this is the actual real build up for the ballast. Not only does this custom building of course show the gravel ballast that would build up underneath the track, but you can see we've got a lot more of these black tile pieces, which basically serves to make it look like the track has twice as many cross ties, which is just a more realistic look for the track. It's all stuck on pretty easily. We've got some 2x4 bricks in the center, and the majority of the ballast is made up by dark bluish gray 2x8 plate pieces. You might be able to see a couple other 2x2s or even 2x1 plates underneath for a little bit more support. But yeah, the straight line tracks for the ballast are relatively simple. Let's move on to the curve where it gets a bit more complicated. Maybe complicated isn't quite the right word to describe these tracks. I would say delicate is probably better. The reason for this is that the ballast builds on the sides of these curved track pieces are mostly attached just by one stud each. Let me show you first by taking off the track from the base. It's a little bit delicate. A lot of these little pieces sort of fall off in the process. And when you can see the track separated on its own, you'll notice that yet again there are twice as many cross ties, just like the straight pieces of course. And you'll see how that works once I flip it upside down here. The outer edge has 2x4 plates that are attached at a single stud and also help to build up some of those cross ties. The inside buildup for the cross tie is interesting. We've got this curved piece and it doesn't focus too well, but the black black tile is at a very slight curve running into the side of the stud, so the cross ties match up the curve for the track pieces on the top. Those pieces fit into the track pretty well, but the inner curve is very delicate. We've got alternating 2x2 plates and then those 1x2 modified ones. Never a big fan of so many pieces resting just on one stud, but let's take a look at the base itself, and it's built to be friendly to all these delicate pieces on the bottom. All the tile pieces there are so that they don't knock any of the delicate pieces off, and they of course serve to build up yet another level for the ballast. The green plate pieces will also serve as a bit of building to show some nature, grass, other extra detailing to build up around the track to make it look a little nicer. All right, let's get this curved bit back in place and the train back on track, and maybe now's the time to answer a couple of questions that I know some of you probably have. Yes, the metal railed tracks we are using are 9 volts, despite the fact that the train we are using is the 10194 Emerald Night train. This is a remote controlled set, and the train does remain remote controlled. We have the battery pack built into a somewhat custom modified coal car. It fits in pretty easily, and of course we've got a couple of passenger cars for good measure. So once again, future plans for the track will include sort of just beautifying it, making it look a little bit more complete and nice with some plants and other organic growth, I suppose. Plus, we're going to build up the ramp so cars can drive through the city. A bigger project will definitely be making some sort of tunnel. The final design for that has not yet been fleshed out, and there definitely has to be some sort of build for a station, pickups, drop-offs, and that is all probably going to be in the works for updates in the future. All right, so that is it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. We will be doing updates on our track as well as updates for our Lego City. As you can see, there's still a lot more work to get that thing looking even semi-complete. But other than that, thanks again for watching. We really do enjoy making these videos for you guys. And if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. So we'll see you next time at Brickvault.